Welcome back to FM Story. We're into the second half of season 13 of the South American Glory on to Save. And in the last episode, we'd left Atletico Mineiro having been eliminated from the Copa do Brasil in the previous episode. It took 115 days, and we did reject some offers in Europe and from international sides. But we ended the episode with a new club. We've gone back to Colombia with Millonarios. So without further ado, let's get into the action and see how we get on. So we're starting the episode with our first home game in charge of Millonarios. We're playing against Fortaleza, who are currently sat in 10th. They've got 18 points from 13 games in this closing league stage. We've got 14 points from our 13 games. Obviously, we've only been in charge for one game, which was that last one against Real Cundinamarca, where we won 2-0 away from home to get our reign off to a good start. We are, unfortunately, still missing our first-choice goalkeeper who's away on international duty. So Para continues in goal. We've made 2 changes to the side that played that last game. Obviously, as long as we don't somehow conspire to get ourselves relegated, the aim for this season is to learn about the players that we've got and to try and get an idea of what we need to do ahead of next season. The 2 changes we made are in the wide areas. So Bel Alcazar, who we had at junior earlier on in the save, and Avia have come in the wide spaces. They were both suspended for the last game, so it's a chance for them to put in a performance and show what they're worth going ahead for us. So we're going with that 4-3-3 that we played in the last game, and it seemed to work pretty well. We've had very little of the ball so far, though. And they've spread it out to the right-hand side, and now they've got in behind our fullback here. Great save by Para, but that was far too easy the way they've carved themselves open to create that chance. From the corner into the near post, we've got a head on it, and we've managed to volley it clear, but it's going to come straight back at us, and thankfully it doesn't come to anything. Everyone's short with a goal kick, and then lumped it forward. Perez wins the header. But we've been beat. Indeburo steps in marvellously well. Finds Avia on the left-hand side. Back to Indeburo. Avia now in the box. Shot was blocked. Perez from the edge of the box, and he was always leaning back, and it was always going over the top. And relatively quiet half on the highlight point of view. I mean, our stats look pretty decent. We could just do with sharpening up at the top end of the pitch. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half, and again they're attacking down the right-hand side. Low cross, we've cleared it, and now Menezes gets onto the loose ball with space to move into. Still going into the box, pulls it back. Puerta from attacking the ball from the edge of the box, and that's the perfect start to the second half. It did look like we were going to be carved open on our right-hand side, but we managed to clear it, and then we've gotten the length of the pitch. Menezes running, pulls it back, and then Puerta from 9 or 10 yards out just sweeps it past the keeper for 1-0. Right, we've made a couple of changes. One substitution, Flet's come on for Coronado, and then we've swapped Sevelion, Perez and Marino around because both can play in each other's role, just to see whether that makes any difference to how we play. Flet with the corner into the near post. Marino powers the header. It looked like it had got in for a second, but it hit the side netting. And there we are, full-time, 1-0. Back-to-back wins and now opening 2 games in charge of Millonarios. 2 clean sheets as well. And we're starting to get an idea of what the squad can and can't do and who can play where. We are approaching the end of October. We do have a big game coming up against one of our former clubs in Atletico Nacional. There is still a slim outside chance that we might be able to qualify for the semi-finals. We're only 3 points off 8th. with a game in hand, but obviously that is this game against Atletico Nacional, so it's going to be tough. We have done a bit of business in the transfer window since that last game. It's not someone who's going to be able to help us this season because we can't get him registered before next season. But we've gone in and picked up a free transfer, Colombian international. Ronaldo Arizmendi can play up front, can play in the number 10 role. Was last at Napoli and was released over the summer, hadn't found a new club. We've brought him in because he looks like he could be a decent player. He's still only 24 as well, so hopefully he's good enough for the level. And we'll figure out a way to fit him into the team for next season. We've played 2 games since the Fortaleza game. The first one was a 0-0 draw against Deportivo Pasto. And then in the most recent game, we won 4-1 against Claneros. Finally, we got one of the centre forwards scoring. Dylan Flett breaking his drought with a hat-trick. Avia picking up the other goal. And as we said, what it means is we're currently sat in 12th. We are 3 points off 8th, which is the last semi-final spot. We probably aren't going to get there just because of the having to leapfrog so many other teams. But we have this big game coming against Atletico Nacional, who second in the table. We've got the top scorer in the league by a long way. He's obviously right up at the top of the average rating as well. We're going to have to keep him quiet, and they've kept a lot of clean sheets as well. So it's going to be a tough task, I think. But we'll give it our best and see what we can do. So this is the side we've picked. We've made one change from the team that we saw against in that game against Fortaleza. Molina is back from international duty, so he's gone in goal, and Parra's dropped down to the bench. But otherwise, it's the exact same outfield team that played in that game against Fortaleza. And actually, just looking at their team, that leading goal scorer in the league isn't even playing. So I don't know whether he's injured or not, but that's a bit of a bonus. Avia, low to Perez, Belask. Oh, we nearly cut them open there, but Avia goes back to Indeburo. Makes Avia continued his run back to Marino. Perez out to the other Perez. Can we get the ball in the box, please? No. Puerta back to Perez. Marino, White, Indebura. We're moving them about without really kind of looking like we're going to penetrate the defence here. But Indebura in the box. Avia forces a great save from the keeper, and it's behind for a corner. And Avia is across to take it into the near post. It's headed back towards him. Marino on the edge of the box, back to Perez, and nothing comes of it. Perez to Puerta, back to Puerta in the box. I mean, I don't know who that went in off, but it looked like it took a huge deviation. Puerta's the one that's been given it. So Perez to Puerta, to Belalcazar, back to Puerta, driving into the box. It actually came off the keeper's hand and changed direction massively. And actually on the league table, that is enough at the moment to jump us up into the semi-final spot. Belalcazar with a wild challenge, but he won the ball. And then Flett wins it back. Belalcazar looks to go to Flett, but it's cut out. They've played it infield. Indeburo makes a challenge. Perez goes back to the other Perez. And Puerta turns with some room to move wide, looking for Avia. It's behind him, but hasn't held the up-tack up. Indeburo, can we get the ball in the box, please? Took a deflection. Dylan Fleck turns it home from about a yard out. And that's 2-0. So Avia just slides it down the line. Indabura drives towards the byline, looks to pull it back, I think, towards the edge of the 6-yard box. We got lucky with the deflection in that it took it straight into the path of Flet right in front of the goal. Corner for them to the back post, a free-ish header, but luckily over the top. And there we go, half-time 2-0. We've dominated possession, we've created chances, we've taken 2 of them, and we're deservedly 2-0 in front, and we just need to keep the same level of performance up for the second half. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half. Everyone seems pretty happy. We've put in some decent performances so far as well. Free kick, Flet to take it. Goes for goal. Keeper didn't move, and luckily for him, it was just over the top. And Flet with another one. This time lifts it into the box. What? 3 of them stood there, and we've let their centre half come flying up the pitch. And luckily it was the centre half who I think we signed for them. And it's been turned behind for a corner. And the corner to the back post. We've got a head on it. Menezes now brings it clear. But it's going to come back at us here. Oh, we've won a challenge. We've gone past the man on the right, crossed the back post. I don't know how that ended up past the keeper there. I mean, we've gifted them that. It all came from that free kick that we let them run unchallenged 3/4 of the length of the pitch, and then from the corner that we didn't clear, ball to the back post, headed back across goal. Right, a corner for us. Avia takes it to the near post. It's flicked on by Sevilla Perez. The keeper couldn't keep it out at the near post. And we've restored our 2-goal advantage, and it's now 3-1. It's the in-swinger. Perez gets away from his mark at the near post, flicks it, and the keeper couldn't get across to his near post in time. All right, we've brought some fresh legs on for the last 10 minutes just to try and see this victory out, hopefully. Into the last couple of minutes, we should be pretty secure here. They've got a throw. They went down the line. Now they're in behind. It's been flagged as offside. And luckily for us, it's been disallowed. Otherwise, the last couple of minutes of injury time could have been pretty tense. I mean, he was always offside. Never made an effort to get back. Right, a late corner for us. Coronado to take it. It's going to be in-swinger from the left. Goes to the near post. Huerta back to Coronado. Cuts in. Finds the back of the net from a narrow angle. 4-1 against our former club, against the sides that are sat second in the table as well. And this is going to make it 4 wins and a draw from our opening 5 games in charge of Millonarios. And there we go, full-time 4-1. Thoroughly dominant performance. We dominated the ball as well, and came away with a deserved 3 points. And there we are, the end of another episode now. A good start has continued with Millonarios. We've played a couple of games against teams in the top half in Deportivo Pasto, which we drew, in that last game against Atletico Nacional that we won. So it's not just that we're playing poor teams and picking up results. We've had 5 games, we've won 4 games, we've drawn 1, we've conceded 2 goals in those 5 games. Things seem to be working. We even managed to get ourselves in with an outside chance of qualifying for the semi-finals. Join us next time to see if we can make it into the semi-finals and to see how our first half season at Millonarios ends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.